justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. We don't have any citizens input. The consent agenda items. Everything seemed in order, right?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
All in favor? Tonight we have Sheriff Stewart to come talk to us about a mutual law enforcement assistance agreement between Wilson County Sheriff's Office and Poth Police Department. Welcome. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all have that.
Have y'all had a chance to look at it?
Yes, sir.
If you've had a chance to look at it, I'll just give you a brief reason for my thoughts on why I had put this out. When I was campaigning, and one of the things that kind of stuck in my mind is for us to do a better job of overall law enforcement. It would be better if we could work together collectively than working each other individually. And it took me about a year to get this lined up to where I thought I could make it happen. And what I was envisioning is that the smaller departments and mine get together, and once or twice a month, depending on how our schedules fit, is we each supply an officer, and we put them together, and as the supervisors, we target different areas. We look for things that we need to look for, places we want to investigate, and then we get together and we spend 1 or 2 days doing nothing but targeting that one spot. And that's why I reached out to see if I could get, right now I have the city of Nixon, Stockdale, and Lavernia. Y'all are the only one left, and then I'll have those cities all on board with this. And then we will sit down and try to come up with a game plan of how we want to do this. It also benefits all of us if we get into anything that results in seized assets, anything large. We can spread that funds out to each one of us to help us with operating. That's kind of my vision for this. It's something I thought would work, and I'm going to try it and see if it does.
I like it.
I like it.
So I have any questions for me about how or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything in here, Sheriff. My only question is, Poth falls under the city of Wilson, I mean the county of Wilson already as it is. You know, that support should be there for Poth. Why do we need documentation?
What this documentation does is allow your chief and your officers to extend that city limits to anywhere within the county to work. In other words, yes, I can come in here and work with them individually, that we don't need that. But if we work as a collective, the people you have in here that may need targeting may actually be doing business in Floresville, Stockdale, Lavernia, anywhere in the county. This allows them to have that authority to work outside the city limits and basically under my umbrella.
We did send this to our attorney, and he said that this is very common, and approved it. The only thing was he wanted the mayor's signature on there too. That's all. That was all worried, or not worried, but he wanted to change.
Yeah, but that's really the only reason is to extend them. It's not really, it really doesn't do anything for me as far as where I can work, but it gives all of them the opportunity to move out. And like I said, if we're working, say the first month we decide we're going to target Poth and anything here in Poth, and we work in here, well the next month we may go to Lavernia and target Lavernia. Then we go to Stockdale, we can work. And that's one thing nice about this, we can work drug interdiction through my office.
It's like a task force.
We can that's basically what this is creating a task force.
Yep.
And I can work the places that any of us individually doesn't have the manpower to do, but collectively we can go target this and try to stop the stuff coming through here, whether it be Human trafficking right now, which is real big. The narcotics goes right along with that. The stolen vehicles and stuff that they use to traffic this stuff. We can target all of that, and you may not be able to really do it right here in Poth, but you can do it on 541 in McCoy, on 97 over by Atascosa County in west of Floresville. You can do it on Texas 80, you can do it on 181 south of town, but you're not limited to working right here in this little 2.5 square mile area. That's basically all it does, is it helps us target a wider area with less resources.
Have we had issues with the human trafficking and the, well, I know drugs and.
We got narcotics come through. I'm gonna tell you, we've only had two basic incidences with the human trafficking in which we got involved in. Either Atascosa chased one into the county, they ended up crashing into a house. We got involved in it at the end of that one. We actually had our own pursuit over toward Cañada Verde, Fairview, over that direction. I think there was like 6 or 8 in that truck. But I know if they're here more.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, I don't have the patrol officers to actually sit out and try to target this. I did, if y'all saw the newspaper, and we did get a grant for $480,000 for me to put 2 extra officers on to target that from the governor's office. So that's being implemented right now. But I do know that it's here. It's just a matter of looking for it.
You're finding it.
And I know Saturday night, I was in the office and talking to one of the deputies, and we had some information. There's probably a dump site that they located out on the far west end on County Road 111. So it's here. We just have to locate it.
And you have to remember, 181 is the main corridor from down
Yes,
south,
it is.
going all the way up north, and that's where they're coming from, south to north. That's how it works. So,
And also through here, you got Atascosa is basically next to the border. Next county's over, you got Frio, and then you got the border. They leave there going to Houston. They're going to take 97. They come traffic through here, going east to west through our county, 87, 97, 541.
I saw a special in that. It said 181, 541. I was like on Netflix, like. Yeah.
And we've also been in contact with Border Patrol, and they're real anxious to help us. If we gather information, they can give us intel and help us out with it.
So what do we have to do?
We need a motion to,
Make a motion to accept Jim Stewart, Wilson County Sheriff's Department.
I second.
all in favor? Thank y'all. Thank you
Thanks,
so
man.
much for coming.
Appreciate it. Well, we look forward to doing this.
Yes, sir. Okay, next is Geronimo.
How you doing? My name is John Coming Mo. I came here last month trying to bring in a football team to Poth. Since I've came to y'all, I'm a very confident person. I've tried making phone calls already, trying to get us in the league, trying to, get some numbers in. I've had well over 60 kids already trying to sign up. I just haven't put anybody on the list because I have to get y'all's okay, of course. I did go look at the field. I didn't think it was bad. I mean, it's kind of bumpy, it's a little rough, but again, if I get the okay, I'm not asking for the city's help to fix it. I'll do whatever I gotta do. At the end of the day, it's for the kids, so it's my way of giving back, I guess. But yeah, I just, there's so much talent here in Poth. There's such a great community. You see, like, even when the basketball team just played, everybody traveled, and we have a basketball team, we have a baseball, softball, even volleyball. We just don't have a football team, and I grew up in Poth. I played football here in Poth. I have 2 kids here in Poth. We love it here. It's just a great community. And I don't want to do it just for the Poth kids. I'd be lying if I said that. We get Floresville, Lavernia, Fall City, Corn City. I'm not going to turn them away, obviously. I just want kids to have fun playing football. Remember what the game is about, is having fun and learning fundamentals. At the end of the day, you want to win. If you don't, you're not going to win them all. And at the end of the day, if I can at least have that kid have a smile on his face and say he had fun, You know, that's what mainly what's about, you know, they'll learn how to win later, you know.
Is that space large enough for only one field, or would it?
It is, it's exactly what we need maybe for a field, but like come practice time, you know, we'll do practice Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I know CCD's here on Wednesdays, so we'll do it those days. We plan on having 4 teams, so the age bracket will be from 4 to 12. 4 to 5 will be flag. 6 and 7 would be tackle, your first year tackle. 8 and 9 would be tackle. 10 through 12 tackle as well. With when you get into 7th grade, that would, well, your 6th grade would be your final year playing with us. We would break it into halves, you know, to have the practices or whatnot. But I mean, again, I've just from the last time he been here to putting a web page up and everything, it's just been extraordinary. How many people have wanted to sign up? You know, how many people are like, wow, you know. I put some flyers up, right? I don't know if y'all seen them, but I have put flyers up, and like even like I'll go eat at a restaurant here, like at My Souls or Circle G, and they're like, man, I hope this. Not even knowing I put it up, like, man, I hope this works, you know. And people are ready to have a team here, I think.
We could do some help with that, couldn't we? I mean, preparing that. Do we need to bring in some more dirt?
Probably need to bring some more dirt, which, you know, like everything costs. We could disc it up and try to land plan. Trying to give as level as possible. There's some issues of some holes and stuff, but that's just it's virgin land. It's never been used before, so that's something we can address. And as he goes forward, we can make it happen.
Is there any way to water that?
Yeah,
No. Because I know, having been part of youth football, that once mid-season, the fields get dry. And
Right.
So you're not watering it.
Yeah, that'll be a main concern. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, however we got to do it, I mean, I'll figure something out. You know, if I got to bring a water buffalo.
could that
You know.
gun go underneath the street and be used up?
Well, we can lay a line. I mean, I done measured out. It's going to be 400-foot line to take down there and cross the creek. And yeah, everything's doable. It's just, you know, it takes money and time.
We would need an agreement like we have with Little League,
Yes,
just
ma'am.
about responsibilities, and we could draw that up.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
The only question would be, I know what we're talking about, and that's obviously a flood zone.
Right.
Impact, if we did have several inches of rain, the field's probably gonna get severely damaged. And then just not building it up so much that we end up pushing water off into somebody
Sure,
else's property.
right. It is floodplain, and that's a great thing about parks.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to use in the floodplain.
True, and that happens. I mean, normally if it's raining that bad, we could probably wouldn't practice anyway. You know, but
Parking,
Well, they just need to park in the park, up at the parking lot. There's
And
not,
walk
you
across.
still
They have
can't
to
park
walk.
in the street, yeah.
Right.
Right.
so is there enough parking there? I mean, I know Typha, they bring a lot.
right,
a lot of
and
people.
I agree. And as far as like how we got back there was like through right before the recycling bin, turning left there. There is a good little strip there that is kind of like road/dirt that we can align parking there. You know, I don't know. Is that the school property next to it?
It's a school property that you went through to get to it, yes.
Oh, okay, so I guess if this would go okay, I would talk to maybe Jeff Luna about if we can use that.
Maybe, but the parking right now at the park is up by the baseball fields, basically. That's the
Oh,
largest
correct,
area
correct.
of parking.
Yes, ma'am.
Because you're not supposed to park along that street. That was the whole deal. Being next to the park and all.
Right. So I'm glad you told me that, so at least I would know.
You can also park in front of the pavilion, and then there's some parking around the drive.
Yeah, it's not uncommon when they have the cross-country meets, they all have to walk
Yeah.
to the other side, where that field is,
Right.
the other side.
Oh, yeah, I've been to some games where, I mean, you're walking half a mile just to get into the field, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think that's a problem with that right now, but the agreement we need to work up.
Okay.
If we approve this tonight, we'll need to work up with
Do we approve it tonight, or do we wait for an agreement?
it. Well, the agreement would be what would happen after we approved it.
Yeah.
I would Make a motion to move forward on their
Okay.
Typha.
Second.
All in favor? Great.
Thank you.
Thank you
I
for
appreciate
coming,
it.
Mo. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I did want to show you one more thing. I was, like I said, I'm very confident. So I was expecting you to approve us, so I did make you a shirt. So, you know,
Thanks so
no
much.
problem. Thank y'all, guys.
Where's my shirt, dude?
Yeah, next time.
I mean, come on.
I'll get you a hot dog.
Not mine.
You can frame it, we'll frame it.
That's great. So y'all are gonna be the Poth Buccaneers,
Yes,
huh?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, we all want shirts next time.
You got it, guys. Thank y'all.
Make them both.
It's like bringing one beer to a party.
Oh, that's cute. Okey dokey, where are we? So now we have, she put it in your packet, but we're going to have a workshop Monday at the regular EDC night. It's gonna be a workshop with the city council and EDC with a fellow from Floresville, Ben Reed, thanks, sorry.
What day?
Monday night,
Next week?
next Monday.
Okay.
The 7th. And he has some ideas about how to bring business to town, and Stephen had asked him to come, and the three of us had a little meeting, and he really has quite a lot of contacts, so it'd be interesting just to hear his ideas. It's just a workshop, okay? But it could be really great for both. Okay. The reports, tax report. See that from your packet? Kind of behind where we were last year.
I didn't see anything wrong.
No, there's nothing wrong. Chief, you have a report? You're there, go for
Yes,
it.
ma'am. Good evening, Mayor, Council, Rose. For the month of January, calls for service were a total of 48 calls. Traffic stops were 97. Citations issued were 54 and warnings were 67. Non-traffic enforcements were 6 citations. You'll see we had 3 thefts, 1 possession of drug paraphernalia, and 2 minors in possession of tobacco products. And we had 0 city ordinance violations. We had a total of 60 citations issued to the court. And our next page here, or I'm sorry, the second page, is no code enforcements, 2 animal control complaints, and no other city ordinance violations. Our incidents of arrest, we had a total of 9 for January. And on the third page, you'll see the 4 that we had are all drug related. 1 was assault, family violence. 1 was driving while license invalid, and 3 were wanted persons that we conducted on traffic stops.
Do I have any questions? I'm sorry, I was just reading. Any questions for the chief?
Appreciate it.
Keep it up.
Thank
Good
you.
job, Chief.
Wait, I thought you had questions. There you go. Municipal court, Judge?
Council, for the month of, where are we at? January, we had a very good month for the court. It was 46 citations that were submitted to the court by the PD. There were 41 closed citations, and 127 cases were submitted to the court for payment. So our revenue for the month was, as y'all see, it was very good. And the minors in possession of alcohol and tobacco, they've all already submitted their classes that they had to take, so they've come in and reported, and they're paying on their fine and fees.
Any questions for the judge? Thank you for being here. And then Chuck?
Mayor, council, for the month of January 2022, we pumped 5.9 million gallons of water. This time last year, it was 5.9. Right the same, it's about 83,000 more this year than it was last year. If you look at the average per day is 193,000 versus 93 last year. The maximum gallons per day was 307 versus 238 last year. The minimum was 44,000 versus 4,000 last year. If you look at the gallons billed, 5.9, 18, 351. So our water loss or our water waste is almost, it's not in the millions anymore, it's in the thousands. And you probably thank our radio read meters for that. So now we're getting a little bit more better control, monitoring our water. So this is really good. You want to see it in the thousands, you don't want to see it in the million gallons anymore. Wastewater plant, we took 4.2 million gallons this time. Last year was 4.6. The average gallons 137,000 per day, 149,000 last year. The maximum is 125 versus 360,000 last year. Minimum is 165,000 versus 123. Irrigation, you look down and we didn't irrigate much last month. Basically, it was like right at 258,000 gallons of water we discharged. Basically, it's like 8.47 hours that we discharge on the pivots. Wastewater ponds are right at 85%, so we're holding pretty good there. Our BODs for pond 1 was 49, BODs for pond 4 was 35. pH levels was 8.36 versus pond 4 was 9.69. So we're doing pretty good in the norm on our pH. Plus our BODs. Even with the ducks on the pond, we're still holding our own on the BODs. Starting tomorrow, we have a lift coming in, so we're going to start hanging those lights, LED lights on the softball field. We bought 10 lights, which is right at $14,000 for the total. So we're going to be putting those lights on up there. We're going to take out the ones that they're out. Then whatever we deem necessary, we're going to probably replace the rest of them. So we're going to have some working lights, and we got like 6 out on the field C on that one over there. So we're going to take those lights down. They're still working condition. We're going to mount those on that one. So hopefully we'll try to get some lights back up over there. I had a meeting with Sherman Posey today. He said they're working on the plans for the lights. They're still trying to figure it out. And they got to get Phelps involved, see where they set the transformer, because we're not going to be able to lead it all the way from the concession stand. So he's in the process like that. So mostly he did say most likely the new lights we got from Kennedy, we're probably not going to be able to mount those till next year. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get that up. He wants to get them up just like everybody else. So.
But that's because we need a bigger transformer, is that what you just
Well,
said?
yeah, because we need, it's not so much the transformer, it's just the positioning and not to run so much line.
The location.
Yeah. We run from the concession stand to the field, it's over probably 600, 700 feet, which requires a bigger odd cable to be able to run it. But if we can go ahead and lay that line and drop a transformer right there on Meckle Street, it's pretty much doable. So basically that's pretty much we got there. But
What about the concrete over on Dixon?
I'm still waiting on bids on that. He's supposed to give me the bids, and he has not done that. And if you see, we had a water leak on Snyder Street in Carroll, which the 18-wheelers are driving over, driving a Circle J. They finally broke that line, so we had to dig. We had to break that concrete today and fix that line. We had to replace about a 4-foot piece. So now we're going to require concrete. I'll talk to you about that later. We need to recommend to go ahead and just tear all that up and rebuild it.
Really?
I mean, it's already deteriorated. The trucks just beat it to death.
Do we need it for a deeper,
Yeah, we're going to make, I think it was a 4-inch slab. I think we're going to make it a 6-inch slab.
with more rebar?
I mean, this has lasted over 10 years, but it's just the 18-wheelers going in there. I mean, even when we're working, instead of going the other way, they got in our way, and we had to move out of the way so they could be able to get in there. But it's the nature of the beast, but we probably need to look at have that replaced. So, trying to get another bid on the bridge over here for the walking trail, which of course y'all know Irons is up, so we're going to have to rebid it and see what the deal is. I'm just getting y'all heads up. That's EDC, their deal, but we're going to have to rebid it because it's been over a year, so see what the chances are. Obviously, it's going to be up a little bit more, probably another 10,000, 15,000, I'm thinking. That's going to be hot mix galvanized that we want to put in play. So, pretty much about all I got.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other information anybody has for announcements or recognitions or requests? Annabelle did not sign up to run, so we will have a vacant position come May, or after May.
Oh, so she
May.
didn't sign up.
her schedule has changed.
Yeah.
So I think that's a bit of frustration. So keep that in mind. Any suggestions, I'm open to. Okay? Well, I think that's it. We're adjourned. Thank you so much for coming.